Back to you again because of interference in last video. We continue with this video. Good morning again. Last video was disturbed, so I'm continuing part 1 with the same topic as civil engineering and quality. Important one. We have to be serious about that issue. And I was talking about this. I was talking about this concrete layers, which means avoiding cold joints, and all are indicated in this. I'll take this into my consideration, and of course everybody has to do that. In the tabletop columns, I'm talking of columns which are thick elements, thick members. Thick means it is more than what you say 80 centimeter, 8.8 meter size, minimum thickness. When it covers more than that, and 8 cubic meter of concrete, we can call it, we can say that this is thick member. Thick member, and thick member is a very important one. Thick members means low temperature, and it should be not more than 24 degrees temperature, and avoid all cold joints. Thick member means low heat cement, low heat concrete, and we know this is, we use generally GBS preferably, or microsilica, but microsilica is very expensive, so GGBS can do. This is glass, granulated glass blast furnace slag cement, which means GGBS replaces cement to an extent of 70%, in some cases maybe 75%, depends. That concrete we have to use, and within temperature limit of 20 to 24 degrees Celsius. That's what we are talking of tabletop columns. That's ensure curing for foundation concrete is accomplished, ensure construction joint is scabbled properly, ensure setting out locations are correct, ensure column reinforcement is placed correctly to drawings, specifications, details, ensure sacrificial anode are fixed to required height well anchored, ensure tanked GI steel plate inserts are available to be fabricated from workshops. Now, that we reach here, I think it's more than that. This checklist, now it is concrete pour, fair face concrete we did that. In that case, architectural finish we did in that case. Poly slab we did in that case. And then sloping portion. And I say compressor for foundations. Foundations we talked of, as I said. And then we will do tabletop concrete pour. Tabletop, which is, you remember tabletop, I think I must say you remember. You must remember that. I think General records. This is document. Book statements, chapter sketches, book statements, sketches, some sketches. Facility sketches are civil form. It is management document, block facilities. It's B. Shooting is not this one. No, it's not this one. It's not this one. It's the other one. Let me see what is that one. What is that one? I don't know. Sometimes it's very. It's not that one. Well, so I'll take this off also. Tabletop, and I'm talking, I show you tabletop, which is tabletop, that is, you can say, a kind of beam frame. A kind of beam frame, quite depth, maybe 2 meters deep, 2 meters deep or more, having beam type structure, and must be cosmonolithic. In that toe pour, concrete pour, I'm giving you a view out and check out concrete pour levels, the requirement, that's number 1 point. Check from supporting arrangements be intact. Supporting arrangements, this is scaffolding, system, everything, access is the preparatory works as well as temporary works both. Check from supporting arrangements be intact and make sure a temporary platform is available for casting. Suggested pour in full height if feasible. 2 stages of pour can also be allowed depending on column height limits. So generally such members are in category of thick members or even massive members, and relevant concrete should be ordered. Temperature of concrete should be between 24 to 30 degrees. Concrete shall be placed in layers and in rotation without allowing cold joints formation. During concreting, a plumb value shall be monitored. Application of vibration must be applied rightly so that no voids are formed in concrete. All arrangements must be ready for immediate and post pouring concrete. Curing could be applied from external forms by spraying water until forms are in place. Now this is checklist for concrete pour. This is important for this. Let us see what it says. It's an elevated pour. Elevated pour means pour at height. It's an elevated pour, and depending on the height of equipment to be mounted, so it's named as foundation. Also construction joint on it's a massive block of concrete that's quite wide, blockouts and other openings. It's not easy to be accessible to all parts of. Bars are also provided in many layers that require higher degree of pouring, higher degree of pouring supervision, supervision so that concrete is vibrated correctly. Adequate access to all areas of pour is made sure. Ascertained, such as the pour hole concrete one unit. It's commented that one design showed tabletop to be poured into two units with deep construction joint in the middle that was objected, and later the whole unit of concrete was poured in one go. It was now too tedious to formulate construction joints and metal due to continuous rebars in many layers. Make sure elements required for workers standing and working. Make sure all areas are well guarded. Make sure all ladders are tagged as safe. Make sure that curing arrangements are made in advance. All arrangements must be ready for immediate and post pouring curing. Curing could be stands, concrete pour, plan without locations for pumps and delivery locations of transit mixers. Temperature of concrete should be between, you know, up to 24 degrees, not more than that. Even 20 degrees would work. During concreting, plumb values shall be monitored. When talking of this degrees, because up to 27 degrees, 24 degrees, it is generally air conditioned temperature. You may say up to from 15 to, say for example, 10 to 20 degrees, 24 degrees. Usually find temperature of air conditioning, and which is best when forming concrete because no expectation, no formations, no chances for cracks occurrence. And avoiding cracks in concrete is major rule behind massive concrete, and also it reduces thermal gradient among mass of concrete. Thermal gradient is reduced, which is also best goal to achieve. Now during concreting, plumb values must be monitored. Concrete has to be poured in steps not exceeding 400 mm or 450 mm thick, while concrete to be done from both ends for easy convenience. Both ends means either longitudinally or cross-sectionally. Both ends means as much as we allow speed rapidly we do concreting so that it's done in layers, and it's cold joints are within these cold joints are avoided. Cold joint avoiding come temperature avoiding, temperature gradient reduction and cold joints avoiding are important point that we have to consider. It's the fast pour and adequate strength of personnel as well as workers must be available, and then we can say let's consider RCC swimming pool concrete pour. It's pool size could be 25 to 30, which is meant for local competition. You can say shallow and depth, deep and depth, which may be different, 1 meter, 2.5 meters respectively. RCC walls, construction joints, open surface drains, submerged pool lights, internal tiling on shelf surface, full carpet, changing room. This formula etc. are components of that. The structural items you're going to pour, that's defined here in this basis slab. One is basis slab, other one is walls, and third one is balance tanks. These are important points we have to consider in this talk. Basis slab means you know what is basis slab? Bottom slab of swimming pool shelf. Swimming pool shelf or reservoir, you can say shelf, that is having two levels connected by inclined slab. You know, you have to first make coordination drawing or coordinated drawing. This service drawings you have to prepare, duly approved or has to be approved, to ensure all embeds or inserts are in. Embeds or inserts are in. That's purpose of coordinated drawing. Again, check all coordination for all such minor structures for services meeting purpose. You have to make sure slope portion between shallow and deep end is done rightly, causing no difficulty while pouring. You have to make sure that water bars are available as well as fixed, properly duly heat welded for construction joints for both vertical and horizontal locations. This is very important item, water bar, because this is only beauty, this only provision that keeps our joints, construction joints, watertight. Seal means, say this is horizontal concrete and we have a connection with wall, super walls. At bottom you can say about 10 centimeter or 15 centimeter from bottom concrete, which usually people call it kicker. I'm not saying kicker, but we say this joint between wall and shelf slab, basis slab. Horizontally, there's a joint between this horizontal level at basis slab, upper point, and here horizontally take it throughout slash shelf. This is PVC water bar profile, as well as where we provide vertical joints in wall. Vertical joints in wall, there too this PVC water bar would continue vertically. So it's like that. You have one shelf profile, shelf base profile, and then there is vertical profile. In shelf base profile, you just weld at both ends, means you have those, and then you have to also weld, you can say T at construction joints. So they are vertical points at dead joints, and also there are horizontal connection of butting each other by welding. So this complete fabricated flexible unit which you have to provide in shelf. You got my point? You have profile unit, that's to base, and we have vertical connections, so that all joints you provide in walls are having this material, this bar material. Bar means water bar, and also your horizontal or profiled slab, so that bottom one as half within concrete, half portion, and half portion outside concrete into new concrete of wall. And also this same profile moves up and it goes to vertical. So the half is in this wall and half is in other wall. So all construction joints in wall and in base slab and wall are embedded in concrete once concrete is finished. That's an important point you have to keep in your mind, that construction joints for both vertical and horizontal locations are welded fixed at locations to produce watertight CJ extending to horizontal and vertical profiles. Horizontal and vertical profiles, you understand that, or check welded piece of PVC construction joint ring is available. PVC construction joint ring is available and fixed correctly, being capped half in raft and half in wall portion. Check all raft bars to be true to design requirements and well placed. Check for construction joints are correctly produced rough during concrete pour. Check all side forms are erected roughly with good supports. All side forms are erected rightly with good supports. Check for electrical first fix. Conduits are inserted to shop drawings within raft work. All electrical first fix, because there are electrical lights in that, you must know that. Plan for raft pouring has to go in one time, so plan for raft pouring one go. Pour lower end concrete first, starting from corners and move towards sloping slab. After doing this part, rise to higher slab pour. Make sure that CJ's construction joint is correctly formed after concrete is for kicker. CJ kicker portion is complete. Construction joint at CJ requires roughened surface of concrete, not smooth one at new concrete surface, and if possible we can wire brush it or we can remove latins, expose aggregate now or later for extra care. If you do it now and later on we can do using scabbler or hacker. Extra concrete or latins from water bar should be cleaned out immediately after concreting. Make sure finishing is given such that tiles are laid properly. Later proceed for curing of base slab. Now walls. Curing is very important in base slab. Remember, though, there's no problem in that. There's a shelf and enough space for water filling in. But that is not completely done because this is inclined slab in between, and so you have to continuously do application of formal curing. That is, first of all, immediately use curing combined later on. Where you finish this polythene immediately, and after that, once it's set, provide Haitian saturated Haitian covered by polythene sheet. Now that has to continue for a number of days Means it's slow, of course it's slow heat cement, so it takes more time, but you don't stop work, continue work, keep lot of curing. Then walls, we have to, how to do walls, that's point here. Walls, that is RCC walls. Walls in mode of constant joints. Joints are shown on drawing, and you have to do one wall. Then you have to do next wall, means not abutting wall, but one alternate wall. Walls we have to fix in how many profiles of shutters we have, 1, 2, or 3, or 1 only, or 2 only. And then we have to, how many walls are there, different sizes, and this longitudinally, or you can say laterally. And also this is a balance tank, so you have to think that way. We have to do exact profile of concentric joints. So walls are carried out in alternate bays of concentric joints, that's what it says. Check irrelevant walls again for all services. For all services, you can say fix, first fix are insert for walls, into the walls. Check again that bolts, and supports would not slacken during pour. Check again from check again from safety angle. Working platforms are ready and erected. Check pour can be done rightly. Check relevant wall preparatory works are complete. Plan for 4 relevant wall after inspection. Probably reducer shall be required for this pump pour at the pump boom chute. Reducer follow concrete procedures so that it is poured in layers. Check concrete well vibrated, no voids are formed. Make sure voids are avoided by taming hammers or inside of shutters. Check curing procedures are complied with. So important point in ball is that it should be done in layers and gradually, and you have to keep watch that it doesn't open by vibrator or by something else, and that all volumes in concrete, all volumes of forms receive concrete. No place is left without concrete, and that's because compaction is applied, and compaction's purpose is that it should get concrete everywhere. So wall is not means difficult or not difficult. Question is not that. Question is that first of all we're talking of ground, within soil of within ground. This wall problem is preparatory works are always difficult, and also means there are water stops in that, and moreover not only water stops, there is provision of something else also at top. So you have to be considerate about this. Then you can say balance tank. We are going to come to balance tank. Balance tank, makeup tank you may call it. Balance tank or makeup tank. It's a big question. Yeah, how we do it. We have to do that as well, and we have to think of that. And it's very important one. Balance tank. It is same in base slab. Inner south part is base slab. Part is walls, and also there is a slab. Additionally, a roof slab of this tank, which is located at somewhere near ground or plinth level, for balanced water movement, and it is connected to chemical room. Of course, there are so many other components of this. I discussed somewhere. Outside pools, open surface drying, and there are so many connections to circulation and supply of water. That is from chemical room. There is the acid chamber or others, machines, filters. complete treatment. There's continuous flow of services from that room to this portion. There are so many complication drawings. That's not being talked here. I'm just talking about RCC of swimming pool, reservoir or shelf. We can generally call it shelf, pool shelf, and also means the pool shelf. This is means pool shelf plus base slab plus balance tank plus surface drains and services, and of course shelf includes walls and base slabs. This is what is it's not prefabricated, it is cast in situ, and we have to provide water seal in walls as well as water seals in junction between shelf and walls. We can take that way. We can even allow, depends means how you take it actually. It's not that easy, otherwise you can take two custom joints at horizontal level, one in shelf, other one in horizontal, and then means it depends how do you want to handle this. It's a very important point, and you have to understand this is an important point, not as lean as I'm thinking. So balance tank we can say is very important point. Let me just be 3-4 minutes to come back. Plus my requirement, I can't sit more than long. So much, I can't walk, you see. water demand. You should balance demand, of course. Hence, to make demands clear. It's also an important point. You know, balanced tank has same. It has walls in addition to slab, base slab, and of course roof. So there are two instances. Walls of this tank are monolithic. There should no construction joint among these walls. And this is of course a deep end, so it's some, these walls are equal in size, in height, particularly not length, but I'm saying height. Base slab is also flat, horizontal. So it's continuation of that deep end. It's continuation of deep end, and of course can say it's continuation of deep end in horizontal way, horizontal level, and it's a box type structure, of box type, Of course, manhole will be there that and receive water from water filter area of building or your service room, can say filtered water, chlorinated water it will get for purpose of treatment, and whatever is demanded after certain uses of water recirculation is done by this. This is, water retaining structures, of course, because water is stored in this for purpose of balancing. It is of course water retaining structure, but it's not, roof is not water retaining. Roof is not water retaining, and some portion above water level, that is, that is also not water retaining, but we can call both walls and slab, walls and base water retaining, as well as roof is not water retaining. So here applies methods to construct base slab, that is done along with shelf slab, of course with construction joints, and walls are done monolithic safely without construction joints, but only pool walls, shelf walls, that those are in isolation of by joints. This pool, rather than pool shelf walls, balanced tank walls are structural, integral walls, and no construction joints in them. There's a suspended slab on top, and we have to follow all procedures. We have talked of walls and slab, suspended slab. That's the whole purpose of this. Now we'll go to shooting range, firing range. That is, I hope we still remember when we discussed that one. I'll try to get it if it is possible. Let me see if I can get that. Sketches, chapters. I'm not sure which I'm talking of. No, this is not that. This is not that. I'm talking of. What is that? So thick. Oh no, this is something else. Better go to that one where I have this. better to go to that one better, otherwise wasting time for nothing. You don't waste time with people. How can I waste time with people? That's not right way. CD, FGS management documents, management documents. Yes, it's here. It's here, yes. It's here. It's here. It's here. It's here. So it's here, you know. So it's that line plan, shooting range, and this is we have seen that. Then there is this is firing range plan. So we'll hold on somewhere, you know, we cannot show all time. You have to see this line plan. So I'll close one of them. It is almost same. Why should I keep everything? So I'll close this line plan better. And it is you know, this plan, but there's also line plan. So we say this plan and this plan are much different. No problem. Then you'll say, let us say this is plan here. This is RCC building, and this is your line of shooting. These lines of shooting, this is called baffle walls, and this is blood tap chamber here. It's 25 mil. This is target bit 2, target bit 1. This target blood tap chamber. So blood tap chamber and target. You see in section, this is a blood tap chamber outfill, and this is sand fill here. If you just want to blow it up, you can blow it. See, just for a memory, I'm saying this. If you can supply and see this one. It is this, you know, this is target bit here. This is target bit. And here is 25 meter width. This is blood trap chamber here. And you see this is earth fill. It's earth fill, and this is sand fill. Earth fill triangle position, sand fill here. Is actually this is sand fill, but this is RCC slab. RCC slab as well here. This is RCC slab. You know, this is RCC slab. This here, and this is sand fill here. This is ground grade, and this is wall top. It's connected to this one, and here is pits away. You know, it's called here blood trap chamber. This is structures like this. You know, these are two masses here. This is stair portion here, goes down. This is, you know, target bit, we call it. This is target bit 2, same way. And there's target bit 1, of course. This is roof over down steps. This is RC wall. This is says 6 meter high here, 4 meter high here, 4 meter high, 6 meter high, like this. So what it says, you know, is building here only small building. It's not big building. There are indoor is here. This indoor, you can pistol can be used in this. This for building, this for shooting long distance. The size itself is, you know, here 300 meters given, and 332.5 or something. Yeah, this building is a small building. 25 meters. This, so this may be 35 maximum. 35 by 15 or like 50 or 50, whatever. It doesn't make it. That's not very big. There's no resonance. There's nothing. Just for controls, it is. It's called. This is a, you know, shooting this particular for defense forces. I was talking about this in this talk of this building construction here. That's number 1. Building construction. This, of course, RCC frame building RCC, and then this construction of this portion of all. This portion of all it's quite long, 300 and 600-meter long wall. Then there are these target houses, and these are shooting range here, and these are baffle walls. Armed gantries here, and this is baffles. And in between is open. There's nothing on this. It's complete open. Complete open because baffles will stop your bullets to go out. If there's motion of bullet, you can say bullets should be here in this portion only. They should not go out. And there are certain provisions for, means you may have to load here, then you have to load here, maybe there's load here. There's circulation here, all those circulation. Like that you can say. It means depending on requirements of learners, requirement of those soldiers. But our point is different. We have construction of this building, that method statement, then we have to construction of this walls, baffle walls, which is very important point. The construction of this bullet trap chamber and construction of this surface, erection of gantries here, and something like this. So that's what we are serious about that issue. That's what I'm saying here. Checklist of firing, shooting range, concrete, pour, and it is that main building, as I said, indoor pistol range, as I said, outdoor shooting range, as I said, bullet trap chamber, target pit everywhere, and underground passages, baffle walls. These are components of this, in the talk of this. That's very important point from construction to engineering designs and methodology we have to adopt. So very important point in this main building. And that we discuss, of course I refresh that we discussed about excavations, we discussed about protection, then we discussed about foundations, discussed about superstructure, grade fill and grade slab, suspended slab, roofing, all still same, means there's no difference. So we can say we can include those procedures into this building as well, because it's part of that. We can say yes, this is so. We have no choice. It's sequence, It's sequence. So it is all methods which we discussed. Method number 1, excavation. Method number 2, blinding. Method number 3 is protection, concrete protection. Method number 4 is foundations. And method number 6 is grade slab before the filling, backfill, and then columns. There are methods for for finishing also, which are of course are very important. We can't deny this fact. Those of course are very important, and we have to consider them accordingly. So this building, main building, is pure building, a complete building. You cannot say this just means a small or big, but it has all components. And this building must be having rifle storage, pistol storage, and circulation, and areas for those people who are there. And of course we have to keep in our mind when we do something like that. This, of course, after all, this is for soldiers here, not for me or you. This is dynamic work, dynamic building. And so we can say those points for main building. Of course, this is not thick element. This is very ordinary building. No thick element, no massive block in that. No massive block. You can say ordinary concrete, ordinary work in bin building. Talking of, then we can go to pistol range. That is indoor pistol range used for pistol learning how to shot. That is very important point. RCC frame columns with suspended diaphragm slabs. Pouring concrete do apply here. So we have to keep that in mind. It's very important in the coastal range. Now, outdoor shooting range, as I showed you in sketch, remember I now closed sketch because function of that sketch is over. So I would say I close that. I can't open all these files which affect memory. So outdoor shooting range or outdoor shooting range. This is RCC walls. You can say RCC walls connected to RCC framed structure, of course, white. Now, general RCC construction procedures such as foundation, framing, plan, it was shooting range, and all that. But here main points are, because main points are RCC walls in this subways. You can say target pits are framed. Target pits are of course framed structure. RCC walls are structures, but one target pit 1, target pit 2, target pit 3, or we have seen that those are like boxed structures, RCC boxed structures having bottom and top slabs and also walls. So important point is box structures this could be, and also this could be, you can say, frame slab below. So both applies, framed structure and RCC walls for wafer. Of course, there is no water in this. There is no water retention, so water question is out of consideration. We have to consider ordinary structures for walls, for target pits, or you can say in target pits, you can see that's one downstairs. Of course, staircase you have to consider that. To construct complete staircase down, for down and down, and then walking in that in safe structure, walking in that. So we have to do kind of cut and cover tunneling, cross that at 25 meters, baffle to baffle distance. That's a structural job, make that way. That's also needed. After that, we go further. We think of this wall, how to construct this wall and this frame. Let us say wall first and then frame, like this. Let's see what this writing says. So bullet tap chamber is also very important point. Let's sort of target pits first and underground passages. Target pits, which is located every 100 meters, and that's RCC frame structure. RCC construction procedures, general RCC construction procedures such as foundations, framing, beams and columns with suspended inclined slabs. This target bits I'm talking of means it says beams and columns with suspended inclined slabs, given consideration for all safety inputs. Follow-up also says that what you say underground pits, you can say 100 meters, every 100 meters the pits of RCC frame structure. We have to take into consideration underground passage, which is strained structure, like tunneling. Then we have to take into our consideration baffle walls. That's our RCC ordinary thick wall, 6 to 4 meter high, and procedures for RCC walls and architectural finishes to follow it. Let us take into our consideration now. Also, gantries supported on PTFE bearing. Gantries, armored plates are there. Then gantries, which are irreducible western corbels. How many frames are there? 3-4 number frames. That's when you see gantries supported on PTFE bearing, polytetrafluoroethylene bearing, mounted on corbels, partial, out of two, here and here. Yes, to get certificate also important other thing you see. It's also important to get all these baffle walls, which is very ordinary structure, but very complicated one, very long one, and you need many shutters for this. And underground passages, there are three, or how many numbers are there? You can make one full, one full, set for this, for base, for walls, for foundations, for walls, for grid slab, for slabs, along with staircase, entry staircase, and that structure. So excavation, all this which come in there, grid slab, foundations, grid slab, walls, and slab. All methods we learned do apply here with same type of what we said complications we have to do here now. Then we can move further on to target pits, which we have said beams, columns, suspended slabs, target pit, and then you can say pillar trap chamber, that is RCC frame structure with inclined slabs, as I showed you in that drawing, inclined slabs and vertical portion slab. Then this is structure, very big structure, 25 inches length. There's a partition as well in that. So the general RCC construction procedures, just foundations, framing, beams and columns, suspended inclined slabs, given consideration for all safety equipment, heavy inputs. In case during formwork, it's not easy. So in bullet trap chamber, we have a lot of work to do. A lot of work means foundations. You have to do excavation foundation, grid slab here, as well as walls, RCC walls, inclined slab. Means it's only point that is supported for this inclined slab. Cast it with ordinary mechanism. First know this take. There is in the world I just saw 5%. Some cause which you do not know. The important point is if this wall doesn't permit your fast construction, then we have to go for slow construction in layers. And also we have to see inclined slab if required. Those are necessary. We have to keep into consideration wall constructions, slab constructions, and high quality of this construction, because it is first of all for use of army, and we have to keep construction of high sort, and also we have to think of armored plates, armored and high power timber plates. Though this is not timber plates, this armored one. It's important. Then you can say next one is inspection distance. Now these postings are related to provide field experienced engineers produce such list point wise that are approved after incorporating required points of inspections. ITP would not be required for final check up of all items essential for inspections and approvals. Does this, ITP would be required for final checkup of all items essential for inspection and approvals. This is item. So you see, if you see plan of this, now you'll find many soffits. You'll find soffit of slab, inclined slab. You'll find soffit of, could be there beams in between. It could be, depends on design, and we have to make ITPs accordingly. There could be ITPs projections of all these. You can say there could be big issue, to decide how many inspections should be planned for whatever project based on experience and works interests in this worldly is never but we have to consider ourselves in this case, and that is inspection should be conducted in proposing manner by construction site personnel, and that is in a decision manner it should be, then supervising manner it should be, and then conducted in surveillance manner. All four we have to take into consideration. Vishwas and there. See, when you enter some city, let's see, use a gate, right? In this gate of city, so you can see entry board. And when you enter there, you find some resemblance, you can say some kind of information about that city. Enter gate in complexes, security angle and protection angle both. Then you move in and you see what buildings you have, what means you have to that. Now all relevant personnel, those who work on these have responsibilities at various levels. To create hundreds of works items for thorough technical inspection. When all they have to contemplate on this, and excessive scheme of inspections may allow hold points that would jeopardize minimum level of inspection may jeopardize work qualities. Moderation must be calculated to keep inspections in such an optimum style that least but a degree of confidence generation in construction personnel while engineer and must enjoy trust of all personnel involved in the project. IITB should be approved and sequenced in such a way that cost of living with minimum hold points while restaurants should keep up. Now, we have studied so many points here of various activities that must be conducted in building structures or others. These are quality conscious points. Because we consider already as different world than animation. We'll browse all these items to let you know what is that. We have to these are method statements. Of course, quality conscious method statements. Who worker site. In engineering, how do you understand of quality can be achieved? This is very important point. Quality is not your choice; it is required. If you do not contribute, you're out. Transfer of plots, no problem. No problem. It will be done. We have to take it this way. You have to consider that point. Yes, it is. It's consider. It's a very important point. It's not a big issue, and it can be done. Famous place. Cost it longer. Hold on, fingers. Oh my God. I know. We must care about quality. Quality is very important point. If we leave that, we should improve quality. If you can't, it's you do your fault. So into consideration all this, write more and more. Only these shall give you something. But think yourself and write. What you want to do, you have to write. You have to understand first what you do, why you do, how you do. It's not simply this. This is not limited one. You have a further expansion of this must be done from each point of view, from each quality issue, quality to improve. It's a must to improve. We have to, and we have to. I'm talking of concrete because concrete is very important material in our life, in everybody's life. Or being expensive on top of that. It's very complicated technology, and if we do not worry about that, we will produce bad concrete, and that bad concrete got no meaning. That bad concrete got no meaning at all. We should understand this point. No bad concrete at all is accepted. It should be good concrete. Only then it can give something to everyone. Quality is not baby of one, it's baby of everybody. Everybody works. Concrete must be understood. So we have professional scope in a very different way. Very different way. Recognize ourselves, our activities. We cannot leave it to time. Thinking is required. Every act is important. If we could not learn in university, then we have to learn now. Learning has no limit. Time teaches us. There can be, any kind of, you can see, structures. This kind of like this, you see, you can say